Hello, my gorgeous people. It's Grace here by Cadonia, and this is my first enduro race ever. This is the Hanuman Enduro in Kampot in Cambodia, and this is the beginning of the B class hill climb. Now, it all starts in a bar in Chiang Mai. I'm sitting there with my friend Zarko from Phnom Penh, and he says to me, "Listen, you should come to Cambodia, come to Kampot and do the Hanuman Enduro." And I said, "Are you mad? I've never been in a race in my life." But for some reason, it seemed like a good idea at the time, and before I knew it, I'd signed myself up. Now, I have to tell you how far out of my comfort zone this is. This is about as far from my comfort zone as you can possibly get. I really don't enjoy competition, and I don't enjoy situations which just induce anxiety. And signing up to ride in front of hundreds of spectators in a category in which I was probably going to be the only woman was definitely going to induce anxiety. But I am also a big advocate for women getting involved in motorsports, so I can't really sit on the sidelines and talk about it if I'm not going to do it myself. So, for reasons I still only partially understand, I signed myself up for the first enduro race of my life. Now, somehow I ended up in B class. So there's A class, B class, and C class. C is novice, B class is semi professional, and A class obviously is professional. Now, I signed myself up in C class to begin with, but then I was subsequently convinced that B class would be a better option. I was told, and it was completely correct, that C class, the novice class, was going to be absolute carnage because it was a huge class with a real mix of riders, some of whom were very, very good and some of whom were genuinely novices. On the other hand, the B class did a more technical track, but there were fewer people and there was going to be less chaos. I checked out the B class enduro track and I had no trouble with it. It was just like another Sunday in Chiang Mai. With the obvious difference that on a Sunday in Chiang Mai, I'm not racing. Now, in Chiang Mai, we have really nice big mountains and we have some really great technical trails, so we're not going fast, and the focus is on completing the technical obstacles successfully and also on endurance. Usually we go quite a long way and you have to be able to make it home. So, coming from this background, I had no idea how I was going to do in the race. Anyway, for the first day, I didn't need to worry about that. The first day was all about the hill climb, and that's what you can see us preparing for here. Now, you have to understand that we are basically being baked in an oven right now. Everybody is getting so dehydrated, it is so hot. You get one go at the hill climb and you get 2 minutes to complete it, and then they time you out. Now, I have to apologize that I don't have any decent footage of the hill climb or of the race itself because my GoPro and my other camera, neither of them are working properly. But let's go with the footage I have while I tell you the story of my first race weekend. So the Saturday was all about the hill climb, and basically we waited for hours and hours and hours in really intense heat to each have our 2 minute go at the hill climb. And this was just so stressful for me. My hands were absolutely shaking. By the time I got to the hill climb, I was exhausted and dehydrated just from the stress of waiting. Now, I did not do well in the hill climb. I was riding my friend's Beta Cross Trainer, which is a fantastic bike, but also not a bike that I had ridden before. So I didn't have the fine degree of control that familiarity breeds. I made it to the final hill, but I got timed out before I got up the final hill. I needed to give it a couple of attempts and I just wasn't doing it quite right. So for the hill climb, I was a DNF in the B class. But at least the act of giving it a go made me feel a whole lot better. It was like getting that monkey of anxiety off my back. I'd gotten out there, I'd given it a shot, I'd fallen down in front of hundreds of people, and it was fine. And I'd proved to myself that I had the guts to give it a go. So add to that the shot of adrenaline you get from trying and failing at a hill climb in an enduro competition. And I was feeling way more cool, calm, and collected for the enduro race the next day. My first objective was to get myself to the start line. That was the biggest challenge of all. Like I say, so far out of my comfort zone. And my second objective was to finish the race. I wanted to prove that I could do it, that I had the skill level required to get through all the obstacles, and that I had the stamina required to get through all of the laps. If I can prove to myself that I can do it, then speed will come later. So here's what happened in the race. I did it. I made it. I made it through all the laps. I made it through all the obstacles. I finished that damn race. Now, it was so hot, and not everyone finished the race because people were getting heat stroke. People were just pulling out because they were going to get heat stroke. It was really quite rough. Now, every single person in this class was faster than me and stronger than me, but some of them, they just ran out of stamina. And I absolutely was not going to let this course beat me. I didn't care how hard I had to try. I didn't care how long it took me. I was going to beat this course. And I did it. I made it through every lap, through every obstacle, and I finished. So although I crossed the line last, I did cross that line. I was absolutely euphoric. For me, this was a total victory. I had gotten out there and I had proved that I could do it, and I had not let that course beat me. So I am absolutely chalking this up as a personal victory. And as for next time, I'll be back and I'll be faster, better, stronger. Now, before I finish, I want to go back to the beginning and thank the people who made this actually possible. So, Dennis and Sharon in particular, you guys are amazing. Your generosity rocks my socks. So, Dennis let me ride his Better Cross Trainer, which is an amazing bike. And if that's not a vote of confidence, I don't know what is. And Sharon absolutely had my back and believed in me all weekend. She made sure I had water, she made sure I had food, and she cheered me on from the sidelines. It was like I rocked up to this foreign country to do this thing I'd never done before, and suddenly I had family to back me up. Honestly, I'm getting a little bit teary. I appreciate this so much. Having people believe in you can be completely transformative. So, massive shout out to Dennis and Sharon, and also to all of the organization team who did an amazing job putting on this event, creating these opportunities, and just being awesome and supportive people who encouraged me all the way to participate and absolutely give it a go. So, it's a few days after the race now, and I am still sore, and I am still tired, and I am still absolutely stoked. Next time, faster, better, stronger. I can't wait.